Hello my friends and welcome to episode 51. The return to Stalingard. And in this mission we are apparently not supposed to cross the Manstein warning line. I don't know what happens if we cross the Manstein warning line, but anyway, we're not supposed to cross it. We have starting positions down here. And over here. I mean, presuming that we respect the warning line, I guess you would just take your combat group here, go up here, take the hill position here, and then clean out this area, and then push into the city. And you would put a combat group down here, quickly check these areas, and then just follow up this road. This airbase would be super useful since it's like right on the front line. And then just push across this gap here up to here, linking the two combat groups together and just making sure that there's nothing behind you. You may even want to split into 3 combat groups, one here, and obviously one in the bottom corner, and just bring them all up together. Anyway, a few commentators have kept on hounding me about using the Japanese hero. Now, the Japanese hero is only usable on a tank, quote unquote. Which I have plenty of. But we're not using tanks, but he's only usable on the tank class. But the tank class does feature a couple of non-tanks. It features this flame half-track, which is, with 12 ground defense, is horrendously vulnerable to attack. Because hard things are easier to damage than soft things. It's a bizarre statement to make, but it's true in this game. There are much better tools for destroying hard things, or much better attack values against hard things than there are against soft. In fact, you'll be hard-pressed to find more than 20 soft attack. There's almost nothing with greater than 20 soft attack in the game. Right, let's have a look at the Tiger 2. It's got 22 soft attack. The 21 centimeter gun I think has 21. Most strat bombers have got 20. So it's very difficult to find a soft attack value over 20, but it's very easy to find a hard attack value over 20. There are plenty of 30s, 25 to 30s out there. The Tiger's got 30 hard attack, and it only gets higher as the game goes longer. So 14... Let me just cancel this again. So 14 ground defense, or 12 in this case, even worse. 12 ground defense is fine, or it would be fine on a soft unit. It would be pretty good, but on a hard unit, it's terrible. And as you can see here, the flame half-track compared to the flame actual tank. Oh, they've actually got the same. I guess because this is actually a really early model tank that's kind of rubbish. But let's have a look at the Flame Panzer Mark III, for example. You can see here the Flame Panzer Mark III enjoys 18 hard defense, which is much better. More close combat defense too. It's just superior in every way. But we can't use it. Apparently, I heard that the Panther G's turret doesn't rotate very much, but nevertheless I will consider it a tank. What else have we got that's really not a tank? by modern standards. Nothing really. I suppose the Char 2C is this turret. This turret is actually fixed to a 30-degree angle because of the weird way it was built, so far as I know. But anyway, it's garbage from the old days. But nevertheless, you know, it's got 21 defense. Okay, everything in the tank category is quite clearly a tank, with the exception of the flame track. So, what tank-only heroes have we got? Reduced slots, City Fighter, and Vigilant. You know what? That's actually really good for a flame vehicle. I can see why people wanted me to use him. That would make his close combat defense 12, which would make him supremely good against infantry. Doesn't change the fact that he'd still be fantastically vulnerable to enemy tanks. Maybe Flag Killer, so it can actually even further remove enemies from fortified positions. You know what? Aggressive counterattack and first strike or something similar might provide some survivability to this monster. I don't know. No surrender, survivor. Let's shove my extra copy of Hit and Run on there. Alright, due to popular demand, the Japanese tank commander has not been given a tank. He's been given a flame track. A flame half track. Which is, this flame half track is the same, it's the same half track that's being used for all the infantry. So when you look at the stats here, the half track that the infantry uses has got 11 ground defense, so 1 less. But it's the same vehicle. It's a variant of this transport vehicle. But it's got 3 flamethrowers on the front of it. I don't know why you would use this in real life. It seems like a really bad idea. Unless you were just going to drive it through someone's town, just setting all the buildings on fire, I suppose. The fact that it's got an open top, though, makes it hilariously vulnerable. I mean, if you were to toss a grenade from the top of the building into the top of that, that would be the end of that, and everyone in it. It wouldn't even be difficult. Anyway, I've added it, so the Japanese superhero will see the light of day. Right, other changes that I wanted to make. We have received Yag Tigers as prototypes. Lots of them, in fact. So that's quite nice. That means that I can afford to deploy them en masse, which is great. We have a new kind of AT, an 8.8 pack. Effectively the anti-aircraft gun, except that and it's type soft as well. It's the anti-aircraft gun, but it can't hit air, so I'm not really sure why you would use it. But hey, it's cheap. That's a lot. I mean, that's the thing about anti-tank guns, soft anti-tank guns, is that they're cheap. But I have no interest in cheap units. So we are going to need Should we bring the extra artillery? It's been languishing in my it's been languishing in my inventory for a little bit. I don't know if I want to change it in any way. I don't know, put leadership on it. Let's shove that on the team. I think what I'll also do is I'll bring along another light. I'll bring along a light anti-aircraft gun. Let's change this. There is the Gepard now. Let's compare it to that Italian Quadruplo. Nope, still broadly inferior. The Italian anti-air machine is just really good. It's actually got rapid fire 2x instead of 1.5x. It's got better stats across the board apart from defensively. It's even cheaper to operate. Right, one thing that is important to me. Can I run another recon car? Let's not, but I'll take those heroes. One thing that is important to me is that I put auto repair on this because it's very rare. Let's put distraction on this, because why not? Put fast learner on this to speed up the acquisition of skill points. I just I don't want to lose any of these Italian portable anti-airs because they're really good. Not as good as 8.8, but still. Let's go with no surrender and expert support. That'll spice things up. In fact, let's take expert support off. Put ignore zone of control on it. I know who I want to give expert support to, and it's this. Okay. Let's make a slight change here. This is actually a non-optimal level of overstrength. So I was wasting a slot there for not the greatest of benefits. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's with 3. 3 spy planes. Can we add a couple more? Looks like the only airports I have are down here. There's a major airport here and here. I think 3 spy planes is enough. You know what? We can run a couple of extra spy planes, and we can just be like, if they die, they die. We can always replace them with something else. Okay, let's put... We'll put the strat bombers at the rear airport because they've got good range. Oops. Okay. Let's take these 2 strat bombers that have got slightly shorter range and let's move them to this airport. Okay, seems reasonable. Not going too heavy on the air defenses here. Okay, combat group south is not going to have air support. So, they want extras. I'm adding a recon down here because my spy planes should be more than sufficient for scouting here. Right, they're gonna need... Let's go with the camouflaged anti-air. Because I get the feeling as we approach here, we're gonna get harassed by air. And I wouldn't mind them barbecuing themselves. I'll put the heavy anti-air here, and the light one here. Okay, surrender machine 1. Surrender machine 2. Let's drop 2 heavy yags here. Artillery for this combat group, artillery for this combat group. I think this small group here is most likely to get in the enemy's face first, so let's give them the old weird flame tank. Funny thing is, as a hard unit as well with very low hard defense, it's not just going to be vulnerable to hard, it's also going to be vulnerable to infantry with hard attack. You need a ground defense of at least 18 to be more or less invulnerable to infantry versus hard, which this has not got. We'll bring 1 set of engineers. Okay. self-defending infantry. I set these guys as regulars. It's kind of interesting. If this for this mission I should trade them for engineers maybe. Alpine infantry. They've got good close defense. For reasons beyond my understanding. They're actually the best infantry in their niche. They actually have incredible close combat ground defense. I'll leave them as regulars. Okay, so I've got 3 small combat groups. I'm going to explore the map as much as possible to figure out where the enemy is. And then, having cleared these areas, we'll concentrate the whole force here. And then just clean this area. Probably avoid crossing the old Manstein warning line and getting into trouble. I have no idea what crossing the old Manstein warning line does, if it does anything at all. But hey, I guess there's no need to aggravate the guy, is there? It looks like it's going to be cloudy too. I don't know if it's going to snow though. The briefing didn't mention anything about it snowing. Okay, that's it for now. I don't normally advocate splitting all my units up like this, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I basically just want to secure this area, this pocket. Once this pocket is secured, and this group moves up here, and then this pocket is secured, then I know that's like a whole piece of the map that's safe, and then I can just make a line here. Just make a line, and drive that line up. Also, once I capture this airbase or this airbase, it should be possible to actually just win all the objectives from there. If you really wanted to. Right. See how it goes. I hope that I'm not going to lose a precious crew here by taking such a highly vulnerable half-track into battle, but hey. It's what the people want. So it's what the people get. And I hope you enjoyed this deployment, and I'll see you guys next time.